What is happening, everybody? We have Thuso Phala with us. Much requested guest. I think the most requested guest. When I posted that this was a potential opportunity, I think we had about 1,000 likes on social media. Everyone very excited about this interview. Laza, great to have you. How have you been?
Hey Mikey, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I've been well, man. Looking for now it's a different life. It's life after football. Something different. We trying to adjust to it. And yeah, I mean, just trying this life thing.
Yeah, man, that's good, man. So great to see you. For those who don't know, and if you don't know, you've been living under a rock. But Thuso Phala, 345 appearances, professional appearances, 60 goals, 20 appearances for Bafana Bafana, like a legend of South African football. One of my favorite teammates. I know everyone that I interview speaks so highly of Thuso, not just as a footballer, but as a human being. So we're very grateful to have you. So to kick this off, I want to find out from you how it all started. Where did Thuso start his footballing journey?
For me, started at school at Highlands North Boys. Lucky for us, Silver Stars came through and chose our school to be under their academy when they won promotion to the PSL, which was 2005. And lucky for us, we were at Highlands, and so we became like Silver Stars Academy. And when we went to Silver Stars training amongst the first team, and then obviously the first team coach came to watch us as their development team, and from there we were chosen. We had the opportunity to get first team contracts. We were like 6 of us. I think Mantla Masang was also part of that team. He's one of the players who also made it. So yeah, it was 6 of us who got to make it to the first team, and it was just luck for me. And then that moment came, and I got a first team contract when I was still in matric, and that's how I made it through to the PSL, to the first team, signed by Coach Owen. So that's how I got my breakthrough. We all have our ways, but then lucky for me, that's how it happened for me.
Yeah, so it was Owen that first saw you and sort of scouted you as a potential footballer, a potential PSL footballer. When last did you see Owen, and do you have any good memories about of Owen de Galma that you can share?
Yeah, when last I saw him, I think last I saw him was at the national team. I worked with him when when he was working with Coach Shakes. So yeah, well, off the field I haven't seen him much. I think he's also busy with his own stuff. And I've got a lot of crazy stories about Coach Owen. Well, as everyone knows, Coach Owen believes in running. He's a more of a fitness coach than a technical coach. So I think he's the one who also built my character. Who gave me the fitness, strength side in my game, which also helped me, throughout my career. So Coach Owen, he'd get to training, maybe 45 minutes late, because he always said he was never late, he was delayed. And then we had already started warming up. We already started warming up 45 minutes, and when he starts, it's another 45 minutes warm up from him. We used to do this session every Monday after a game. Now it's known as recoup. After a game, you do recovery. So his recovery was a 45 minutes jog. So you can imagine how it felt, my brother. Just yeah, it was one of those coaches, man. But I think with the team he had, we never had more like skillful or technical players. We believed in the fitness side, and it worked for our team.
Yeah, that's actually something we have in common, because when I first got promoted to the Pirates first team, Owen was the coach
Oh,
as
is
well.
it?
Yeah. And I'll never forget. It was like I turned up the one day, and then I just, like, for the warm up, it just said like 8 laps.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, this is a warm up. Next thing I check, like Close Kholela's in front,
Running.
and it's a race.
Yes.
It's a race, and we.
Yeah.
And he's just dropping guys one by one, and every lap he's just saying, "Hey, what's happening? Like, run faster!" I was like, "What's happening? It's a warm up."
That's Coach Owen, man. I mean, everyone. I'm sure everyone who has worked with him, always talks about the running. It was always the running, man.
Yeah, I always laugh because like I think like Jomo Sono like was supposed like is one of the best footballers that's ever played in South Africa, like skillful, technical guy, but his teams were always like he used to run his teams into the ground.
Yeah.
And Owen again, they said was a great technical
Yeah.
player, great striker, goal scorer. But then like he wanted his teams to be runners and man markers and fighters. I always thought like the guys that were the great footballers, like why did they want their teams to run so much?
I
I
think
never
it's
understood that.
I think for them it saves the technical aspect. Once you have a fit team, you can just outrun the opponent, and then the individual brilliance will come out at the end. So it was one of those aspects that he believed in, and it worked for them. So if something works for you, I think you're gonna stick to it. Actually,
Yeah. So take me then from that period, and then you signed for Chiefs at a very young age. I think you were 21, 22 when you signed for Chiefs.
yeah. I was 21. Yeah.
And you signed for and that yeah, and when I look at that Chiefs team, I mean, I just look at the names on that team. It was a massive team. Looking at like there's Brian Baloy, Jimmy Tao, Nengo Masha, like the names. That was like a powerhouse of a team. Like, and you broke into that team almost straight away.
Yeah,
Tell me what it was like when you first arrived at Chiefs, man.
yeah. Obviously, it was a huge skip, because you're coming from the Silver Stars, where I played with, like, even if I mention them, I'm not sure like the people would even remember those players. And going to a team like Chiefs had Thabo Moki, Escarango Bese, Fabian Makati, Emil Baron, Itu had came to the first team. So yeah, it was nerve breaking, man. I remember getting there on my first training session, and I couldn't believe the players I was around, man. These are the players I used to admire, and I was sharing a change room with them. It's so overwhelming, and also being at a team like Kaizer Chiefs is overwhelming already. So, but it was a great experience, man. I think the guys accepted me well, and well, it was just unfortunate that being in that squad and making the team as a 21-year-old, yeah, you had to be extra special, I think. So uh, it was not my time to be. I only had played 6 months in the PSL. You know, I was just getting used to the PSL, and now I'm at Chiefs. So it was a very difficult. It was a very difficult door to open. To be comfortable and to be confident enough. So it didn't work out for me. I didn't get much game time, and I had to move on also, because I was still young, man. It was not about the money then yet.
Yeah.
It was about playing. So I wanted to
But how did
play.
that move? How did that move to Chiefs come about? Obviously, you were relatively new in the PSL. How did that move happen?
Yeah. Well, I was at Silver Stars the first season. We won the Telkom Cup. It was the first year of the Telkom Cup. So I had a very good tournament. I played all the games. I was nominee for player of the tournament, but Haraipa Marumo won it that season. He was the top goal scorer. So I had a very good tournament. I remember we beat Chiefs 2-1. I was man of the match. I scored the first goal. We beat them in the quarterfinals or semifinals. I don't remember. But we beat Chiefs. So, like, I think Chiefs took notice then. And how my move happened. Silver Stars, it was a little bit of a betrayal, but I had to. I had like a apprentice contract. So my contract was coming to an end in June the following year. We played the Telkom Cup in December. So come January, Silver Stars comes to me and says, Laza, we've got an offer for you, my man. I say, what's the offer? They say, no, now we're going to give you 8,000, 10,000, 12,000. That's 3 years, right? So I'm like, no, man. 8,000? No, 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 no. Because now I've played, because my contract was like I was earning 2.5 on the contract, but I was not being paid that money. Sometimes I'll get a 9,000, sometimes I'll get a 10, but it was not in my contract. So I'll be given random money, and I'll be taking it like, oh, okay. I would say no, I'll take it. So then January they wanted me to sign like a 3-year contract. I saw my mom was there training. So my mom was there, Coach Owen was there, and the chairman then was Larry Brookstone was there. And it was during training, so I was still wearing like training stuff. I was sitting there. So they put the contract on the table, say, Laza, since you're our boy from the development side, we have a nice contract deal for you. So I was like, 8,000. No, man, no. So they were surprised, like, how? Why? Your mom is here. I'm sure she agrees. I'm saying, no, I don't want 8,000, guys. I'm saying I want 20, 25, 30. They're like, what? No ways. I was like, if you don't give me that money, then we not, if you don't give me that money, then I'm not signing. But they're all surprised because Coach Owen is here, my mom is here, Larry Brookstone is here. So they're like, what? Why are you not signing? I'm like, no. I want that money. So my mom's like, sign me. I'm like, no, I'm not signing. So then it was a bit of a shock to them. So they're like, Laza, clearly there's some teams after you. Maybe you want to go. So, you know what? If you don't want to sign his contract, it's fine. You can stay at home and then we'll pay you until June and then you can leave. So I was like, okay, no, that's fine. And then they're like, oh, okay, so we'll pay you, we'll give you back the, no, we'll keep paying you. I'm like, no, it's fine. You can even pay me what's on the contract, the 2005. It's okay. I'll stay at home. Because I knew then that, the negotiating power is on my side, So I was like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they must give me something better. So then after training, I was told to go home. So I changed in the surprise of my mom. She's like, what? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going home. It's fine." Went home. So lucky for me, then Mr. Tim Sukasi was already involved in Silver Stars. He was the manager of Owen Takama.
Okay.
So I went home and I told Tim what's happening. That the team says I must go home. They said, Tim, no, don't worry. Take my number and we'll speak. So then I went home. That time, still January. So come end of Jan, Silver Stars paid me. I was home. So I asked to train with FCAK. I don't know if
Yeah,
you remember, there was a team,
yeah.
FCAK.
Look at
Yeah.
Dina, they had
They
all the
were,
money in the NFT.
yeah. Yeah, they were
They
paid big
big
money.
money, bro.
So they, yes. So they were training around where I stayed. So I went there to ask if I can train with them, just to keep fit. And they agreed. So I would train with them there. And then Tim Sukasi called me. Said, hey, boy, let's meet there at Naturena. Like, what? Says, yeah. Let's meet tomorrow at Naturena, Chiefs Village. We have a meeting there with Chiefs. And yeah, we went there the next morning, a meeting with Chiefs, a contract Tim Sukasi had drawn up. I was happy with. Then I was a Chiefs player, my
So then,
man.
what did you just sat at home for the next 4 or 5 months until you went to Chiefs, or did you eventually
No,
go back to training?
no, it wasn't. It wasn't 5 months. I stayed at home for like 2 weeks.
Oh, so you joined
Not
them in
long, eh?
January.
Just two. No, so no, I signed with Chiefs like the beginning of
Okay.
Feb, around there. That's why when I signed for Chiefs, I couldn't play for them until only the following
Oh, it's
season.
like a pre-con.
Yeah, so like it was like a pre-contract. But then now, uh, Tim had negotiated for me to get my clearance straight from Silver
Okay,
Stars
but you
at
couldn't be
that time.
registered for two clubs
So
at the
they
same
gave me
time,
my clearance.
in the same season or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was those rules that I could only play the following season, but I could sign
Yeah.
for Chiefs. So I signed for Chiefs and I was earning at Chiefs, but I was not. I couldn't play, so I was training and sitting at home weekends. So it was a free
That's
holiday
not
for
bad.
me.
That's not a bad deal.
That's
Yeah.
not bad at all,
So
eh?
you spent 2 years at Chiefs. You said obviously it was a good experience, but never played that often. So then the next comes to
Yeah,
Sundowns. How did that happen?
yeah. So Sundowns also, man. Yeah, went to a team full of stars, my man. So uh, at Chiefs, Mr. Pomimtau came to me and they had a proposal for me because Chiefs had signed Josta Dada for the following season. And so they had negotiated with Sundowns that I could leave, I could go to they could give Sundowns a player, and then they could so that Sundowns can release Josta earlier before his contract. So that was the deal. So they came to me and said, "Do you agree?" I said, "Of course I agree.
Yeah.
Sundowns, I'm going. I'm going, my man. It's fine. Let me just go." So yeah, so then they agreed on that, and then Josta came to Chiefs, and then I went to Sundowns. Also, the squad there. Whew, I remember Ezrom Nyandoros were there, Tandom Gomeni, Vilagazis, Old John. I was just blessed to be around those players, man. I think also those players I was around just overwhelmed me, but I was more of going to training to watch them train than me focusing on playing, maybe.
Yeah, who was the coach that time? So, was Stoichkov the coach when you first came in?
No, when I first came in, it was Ted, the late Ted Dumitru, and then he had just left, and then Trot Muloto just took over as an interim coach, and then Stoichkov came in. Yeah, and then when Stoichkov came in, obviously also, you know, new coaches come with their new setup, and he also came in, and we went on the transfer list, my man. So, but it's football, you know. So yeah, without even playing already. So I remember that squad. There was a Lebohile Mofokeng, Papizo Chwanis were there. So when Stoichkov arrived, preseason. So it's preseason. We all report for preseason, and preseason you arrive today, then tomorrow you're leaving for preseason camp. So we arrive today, we meet the coach, and then the next day we arrive for preseason camp, and then we told like, no, you guys, you're not traveling with the team. It was myself, Derek Spencer, Lerato Shabangu, Kurt Lakis,
Top players,
Robin
top players. Wow.
Johannes, those players, man. So you imagine them not traveling. So yeah, so there's like six of us. We were not allowed to travel with the team, so we had to stay behind. So then from then on, we knew that we had to speak with our managers and find a club. So but it's one of those things. It's off season, man. You know how it works with your manager. Now you must phone coaches, or maybe you get calls to your manager that there's a loan deal that might happen. So it was that kind of setup for me. But I already had played a year and a half or something. So my contract had one more year, So that season, that off season, I was clearly not in the plans. So I had to make a plan. So I was also at home, and lucky for me, Coach Owen came knocking again.
Yeah.
Coach Owen Takama, he had just signed at Silver at Platinum. Now it was called Platinum Stars. So he called me, said, "Hey Laza, what's happening, boy? I see Sundowns didn't go to." I said, "Yeah, I'm jobless. So what do you say?" Says tomorrow come down to Rustenburg. Hey, tomorrow? Said, "Yeah, tomorrow." So tomorrow I'm supposed to report to training at Chlorocop there. I don't go. I go to Rustenburg. I headed to Rustenburg straight. Get there, Rustenburg. There's a friendly game playing there against a Vodacom team or something. Then Owen puts me on. I go on there. I score 2 goals. Owen says, "Yes, your boy, you still got it. I'm happy. I'll speak to the office. We'll call you." Okay, cool. I drive back to Joburg. Uh, and then obviously Platinum Stars calls Sundowns, and they tell them that they're interested in me coming over. So Sundowns says, "Yeah, no, it's fine. Laza can go there, but it's gonna be a loan." So I'm like, loan? No, 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 no. So now that's what also delayed the move, because I didn't want a loan deal. I was like, no, man, let me just start over. You know, why must I be loaned there? Platinum Stars, I do. I'll come back to this star-studded team, man. then it's gonna be difficult for me to break through. So I'm like, no, I want to leave. So Sundowns wanted some like a fee, you know. So that was delaying the move. So my mom and I went to go see the president. So we went straight to Mr. Mtsepe. President, this is what's happening. Please, like, it's not about the money for your team. Can you just, you know, sign the transfer, man, so that I can just go, man? No hard feelings, you know. I can't make it through the squad. So can you just release me? And the president said, yeah, sure. Lazarus, fine. You don't even need the money, so you can just go, man. Oh, then I was like, oh, cool. So then I went, yeah, cool. So yes, so the president agreed, and it was like a small
Yeah.
fee because I had obviously a year left on my contract. So the small fee they agreed on at Platinum Stars, and yeah,
Yeah.
I was packing
So
my
how do
bags,
you look back on
heading to Rustenburg.
those years of your career where you're obviously at Chiefs and Sundowns, massive clubs playing with incredible players, but obviously didn't feature as much as you
Mm.
would have liked? How do you look back at that time of your career? Do you think it was good for you development wise to train and play with these guys, and even though you weren't playing regularly, how did you handle that? Not playing week in and week out, but training with all
Mm.
these great players.
Yeah, obviously, you know, Mike, as a player, you know yourself, it's not easy not being involved in the team, and you need a lot of support around you. You know, the frustration comes of not playing, you know. You're in a big team, you know, you get to recognized around you, and you're earning this money, but you're not playing. So I think the support I got around me, man, with my family, it just kept me going. And I think the person I am at that time, I accepted that, you know, it's not my time to play, you know, at these teams then. So I took it in a positive way, like that my time will come. And I just learned from the great players I was around, and I took it with the right attitude, which is not easy for any player to take it that way, man. But I think lucky for me, I took it in that way, and I went to Platinum Stars, and I had a great time, you know. I think that's where my career, like, you know, also like picked up, and I was shining at Platinum Stars because I went there with the attitude that yeah, now it's my time. I've learned all this. I have all this character around me from where I come from Chiefs, from Sundowns, you know, with the pressure around these great players, you know. And I was there winning cups with them. I won with Chiefs. I think I was more involved with Chiefs with the cup winning. At Sundowns, I was not involved in any winnings there. So it built my character and me as a player. And I think it made, you know, I have no regrets for not playing there, and I have no regrets for leaving the teams and going to Platinum Stars
Yeah.
because it made me
Then
the
the other
player
way
I
I
am
always
today.
look at it is, I know from my point of view, is just how those clubs elevate your status within the country. I mean, you went on to play for
Mm.
Platinum, for SuperSport, for different clubs, but I'm pretty sure that when you go on the streets, all the fans remember you for your time at Chiefs, and they'll speak to you about, like, it doesn't matter that you won
Yeah,
five
yeah.
trophies for SuperSport or you're a player of the season for SuperSport. Like, they will remember the times spent at their team at Chiefs. And like, I
Yeah.
experienced the same thing. I only ever played 2 games for Pirates, but the only thing they ever remember about, they always speak about the former Orlando Pirates
Oh
players,
my
not
God.
about any,
Yes.
like, so
Yeah.
it elevates your status within the country, and it opens a lot of doors, I think, even
Yeah.
outside of football. The fact that you play for these massive brands.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So Laza, we'll move on to the time we spent together at SuperSport. Some of the
Yeah.
best of my career, some of the most successful times of my career.
Yeah.
What was it about that SuperSport team and that group of players that made us so successful, do you think?
Oh, I think not only the talent, man. I think the brotherhood. I think people outside won't understand that the brotherhood we had. You know, I think we had the right players at the right time with the right coaches. I think, but especially with Coach Stewart, you know. Uh, Everyone just gelled, man. I think we had one goal as a team. It was to win. Didn't matter who was playing, you know. I think we just wanted to be successful, man. You know, I also everywhere I go, I mean, if people ask me like, what was the best time, career, super sport, man. I mean, like, more than the talent we had, the characters we had, and I think also with the management, I think they assembled a very great squad, man. From the office, Mr. Stan, bringing together that squad of players, and you look back and you're like, yo, those players we had. And I believe then it was only Ronwen and myself in the national team, or Dean Furman,
Yeah.
and then only Brad went after. But later on, Yeye came and Morgan came. I think,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think, but with the players we had, man, the Dino Ndlovus came, and we had such a squad. And I think the squad we had, you would know, it was not only about the talent. I think we had one thing in mind, is just to be successful, and we wanted it, and we're doing it for ourselves and for the club and for our families, and we did achieve what we wanted to. We could have won more. I'm sure we lost like 2 finals.
Yeah.
It could have been more. Of the 6 finals we won, or 6 or 7. So my man, I think going that team we had around me, that's why I always mention the squad I had at SuperSport, that bring a different squad with the same coach, you wouldn't have won what we won, man. I think with that squad of players we had, we just was there at the right place at the right time. And that's football. You go to a team with your talent, Mike. You go to a team and you get there with your talent, and you don't have the players around you to complement you, and you don't win anything, you know. And you go to a Maritzburg United, maybe if you went there, and with the players around you at that time, and you win 2 finals, and you're like, oh, I was at Chiefs for 9 years and I have 2 trophies, and you go to a small team for 4 seasons and you have 5 trophies. So football is all about the moments, and you go to a right team at the right moment, and everything just falls into place. So I think football is like that, and you have to accept it. Sometimes you're a great player at the right team, but at the wrong time, and you don't have success. And I mean, Tiko Modise he is one of the great legends of our country, a great player. I like him a lot. And he was at Pirates with a great squad around him, but he never won anything at Pirates. And then he moves to Sundowns the following season, and he wins the league back to back. He wins the Champions League. So it's about the moment. It's
Yeah.
about the moment in football, and you must accept, and you must cherish the moment. If the moment is there for you to win trophies, and then you must be aware that this is my moment for me to win, which is what we did at SuperSport. We could see around us that, with this team we can win things, and we were aware of it, and we went for it, and lucky for us,
Yeah.
we achieved
Man,
that.
we struggled in the league always. I don't
Yeah,
know why that was, but we were like
yeah,
cup specialists, so we couldn't. I don't know. Just consistently, we couldn't get performances together in the league. It was tough for us, but yeah, the cups. I don't know. It was just like the character of the team. We like. I always think of you as like a big match player. Whenever it was like the big occasion, we had big characters, and we always got it over the line,
yeah,
even though sometimes difficult, sometimes penalty shootouts. It didn't matter. Like we just through the big
yeah,
moments. So I think like a lot of it that was character,
yeah.
but I don't know why you think. Why do you think we couldn't get it together in the league?
I think we struggled because I think also the only coach that we started with the season properly was Coach Stewart, and he left. Well, I can never know, but I feel like if Coach Stewart didn't leave that season, I believe we're gonna win the league. I believe so, like Mikey. So I think with the coaches, we had Coach Gordon, and before, also Coach Gordon, with the squad that we had, we never had a Yeye there. We never had a Morgan, I think.
Yeah,
And I think with the players we had, we could also set the goal like, here's a Telkom Cup or here's a MTN8 or something. We could set it off like, here's a Telkom Cup. We could also see that in the league we didn't have that consistency as a team. We'd go beat Chiefs, and then we'd go lose to a small team next week, and we'd be like kicking ourselves, like, guys. So we knew that a cup game, it's 4 games, guys, and we had the players to motivate ourselves and say, it's 4 games, we win the 4 games, we win a cup, and we would go and do it, But I believe with Coach Stewart, we had the squad then, and also the momentum we had is that we had just won the MTN8. The previous season we had just won the Nedbank Cup, and if we had started the season with Coach Stewart, God forbid, I don't know what was going to happen, but I believe with him, I think we were
If
going
you
to
look
challenge
at
the league
the
that season.
core of that team, especially with the youngsters that were coming through that time with Tibbs and Seapaw and like Aubrey, you look at that core of that Sundowns team that's dominating African football. That was our team, basically.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
with
so we had
with
those
Stuart
youngsters.
and all the experienced guys we had, Dean, Brad, you. Yeah, I can't see why that team wouldn't have gone on to win the league at some point. But the other thing that I always think
Yeah,
about with
I'm
that
sure we
team is
would have,
that,
man.
like you mentioned, was the team spirit. So some of the best nights out that I had in my career was with that group of guys, with you in particular. What do you think it is about so like building friendships and like bonding with guys outside of football, outside of the playing field?
Like, I feel like some teams are not aware, man, how important that is, man. Meeting the guys off the field, meeting yourself, Dean, Brad, and Brocky. I remember you guys took you guys to Soweto the other day, So, knowing you guys off the field also helps on the field. I feel like we could deal with each other better. Our conversations were far different because we knew each other off the field. You know, we knew each other at 2 a.m. in the morning. So I knew a late night mic than a usual 2-hour mic on the field. So for me playing with you on the field, I know you better. I know you better as a person. I knew Brad, I knew Brocky. It almost became automatically that on the field, I could see Brad. He could see me without even raising his hand or even shouting for the ball. It would come, the chemistry would come automatically because how we as a team were so together. We had that togetherness as a team. That's why I would especially make sure that guys, after the game, we're going out. I don't want to hear stories. We're going out together and we're gonna have fun together. We've won the game or whatever the result, but for us, it's us to bond as brothers, not as the soccer players that you come to training, it's 2 hours, we have lunch, and you go and I see you the next day. Now it's, I want to see you when you had a few drinks. I want to see you when you wake up in the morning and you have a headache from the previous night and you're in the bus and you still have that babalas and how you behave in the bus driving to the airport. You as that person and me knowing you as that person, come to training and we go to camp and I know, Mike, that I know Lazar must put Tabasco sauce there for him because he had a heavy night. You know me as a person now. That also builds you. I mean, if we're at camp, I'm sure we would change roommates with anyone.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter because of how we were brothers off the field. So I think that's very important. And you go to teams now. I'm not saying teams must go out every night together. No, but the team building is very important. And you go to a team, a big team, and that brotherhood is not as strong. It will show with the results. And for us, as I said, like the talent was there, yes, but we didn't have the talent that than the Sundowns and the
Yeah.
Chiefs and and the Pirates. But us on the field, that's super sport. That's why even when we went to Africa, we went all the way to the final and we lost
Yeah.
only on away goal. We never lost the game. We lost on away goals rule. It showed in Africa. It was the first time super sport gets there, and it went there with our group because of how we were as
Yeah.
brothers. Even when we went away in Africa, we made
Find
sure that
ways
they
to go
played.
out in the middle of Africa somewhere. After a
With
good
with
result, we still
Africa,
found a
we don't
way
even
to
know.
go out.
With Africa, there we don't know the place, but we're there together. We're like, guys,
Brother,
what
I'll
if
never
people?
forget that taxi ride in Gabon. And I'm looking at you, Laza. I'm thinking this is all over for us here. We're not coming home.
You know, Mikey, those moments, man. I'm saying, and they build you as a team, and other teams or other players don't understand how important that is. It's not about the drinking. No, it's about you guys being together away from the field. That's where you see. Also, you see the guy's character on the field. I know a Mikey who's gonna get there and work. And after work, you'll do your extras, and then we'll meet at lunch for that 30 minutes. And then you don't see me until the next day. But then we go on camp to Africa, and we're there for 4 days, you know? And then, Mike, I know, I come back, I know the Mike. Like, even if I meet you at a mall, there's something to talk about besides us
Yeah.
training. You understand? So that builds the brotherhood everywhere, man. I mean, if if I can tell you at Platinum Stars, that Platinum Stars that was successful when just after I left, and before I
Yeah.
left, we came second in the league. We were challenging for the league with Coach Kevin at Platinum Stars. With that team, we challenged the league. We lost, I think, by 2 points to Kaizer Chiefs. In the last two games, I think we lost it. It was the brotherhood. After
Yeah.
after each and every game, the whole team would go out to the same place, whether you drink or you don't drink. But Benson Klogo would make sure everyone is there. We all there, and then you stay for 2 hours, 3 hours. Then you can go back home, or you can stay for later. And that team showed. It showed on the field. It was not about the talent. It was about the brotherhood they had. So those things are very important, and obviously, how I enjoy going out, my man. So there's another excuse also to go out.
Yeah. 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 That was always the thing with you. That I mean, guys always used to say, don't pick Laza on a Monday. Uh, Monday is we asked, hey Laza, what's happening? No, guys, it's Monday. But like nobody cared at the end of the day because you were the type of guy who delivered always on the weekend. But
Yeah, man.
obviously, it's not possible for everyone else to do that. I think you're one of the few guys who could get away with that. Um,
Yeah. Ish. Yeah, Monday is like, for me. So if you go out with me on Sunday, uh, you maybe will be struggling together on the Monday, the Tuesday. Yeah, but I was one guy who understood my body. That I wouldn't even force it. I would even tell you guys that, guys, Monday, don't expect me to run for balls or to be there. No, no, no. I'm recovering. I'm sweating it out. It's Tuesday. Then Wednesday I'll be there. Then Thursday I'll be back. You'll know 2 days before the game, you pick me on a Thursday in your team, then I'll give you something. But on a Monday, Tuesday, and I think it's because I understood my body, you know. And throughout the years, with the players I played with, and you would know that I'll tell you I'm going out. It's the weekend. I'm going out. So if we have a game coming up, yes, but I like to go out. That's me, and
Never
I
forget,
wouldn't
Laza,
change it.
you once told us a story. You said no, like, so you were going out and you were playing well, and then you decided, no, this week you're going to be serious. You're going to be serious. You're not going to drink at all. You're not going to do anything and be professional. And then come the weekend,
It
nonsense.
didn't
Then you
work.
said, no, 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 I'm going back.
It didn't work. It didn't work. I tried it. It didn't work. So I was like, no, let me just stick to my let me just let me just stick to the Laza I know. Let me not try these funny things of focusing the whole week. No, no. Let me go out, have my drink, and then recover on the Wednesday. Come weekend, I know what to do. I think my body was used to that. Like this Mike of Sunday, I'm sleeping early. Aye, 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 aye. It was not working for me. Mm-mm.
Hey, Laza. So then, okay, so we go past SuperSport. Then, obviously, Black Leopards, Laza. Why, brother? Why Black Leopards?
Ay, Mike, some decisions, man. I had I had offers, in the PSL, man, and I've heard the stories of Black Leopards, how things are that side. But then when you're naive and you think how influential you are, you know, uh, because when I was going to Black Leopards, I knew Matlaba is coming. I knew I was gonna meet up with Robert Nkambi.
Jima
I
went as well.
knew
Eddie Jima went
who
as well.
Ejima came here. Ngele came, and I was with Ngele at
All the
Platinum
good
Stars,
teams.
if you can remember. Yeah, so I knew there was those players coming. And speaking to the chairman of Black Leopards, he had promised that we would have things like so in control in the team. We would somehow, in my head, I was like, I would change that team, to be a better team than the stories I've heard. I was wrong.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
I was wrong, Mikey. Because first of all, in my family, we are like ZCCs and we don't believe in Muthi, right? So that was the first thing I raised, that no, Chairman, me, this Muthi, I it won't work. It doesn't work for me, and can I please be excluded in it? So the chairman said, yeah, no, don't worry. No, 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 you with the Muthi, no, it's fine. You can be excluded. Okay, so get there. Well, first of all, getting there, I played football, let's say 14, 13 years, my career. I've never had to wash my own kit. So that was the first day. I was like, I arrived there and I get a training kit. Like you get yellow, get white, and you get a black training kit. So I asked them, why are you giving me training kit? I'll see you tomorrow at training. They said, no, this is the kit you keep. So Monday is yellow, Tuesday is white, Wednesday is black. Then you start again. Thursday is back to yellow. Like, so I must wash it. Say, yeah, you wash your own training kit. I'm like, hey, guys, I mean, Pulukwane, like, the wife is at home. Now I must wash my own kit. So it starts there. Now you get there and you realize that uh, you were lucky in your career. Not lucky, but you were exposed to the more professional life in your career, and for you to go
Yeah, it can always be a curse when
to a
you've
team.
experienced top and then you must go backwards.
Oh,
Yeah, that
yeah,
is always tough. I
it
found that
makes
as
it.
well. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think almost you spoiled in your career,
it's
then to move backwards is tough. So your standards
you
have obviously
do.
gotten to a certain point,
Yeah,
and then to come back is tough.
mm, it's tough, Mike. So rather you start there. I think it builds your character, man. Yeah, I think, but also I started at Silver Stars, man. Even at Silver Stars, I was not washing my own kit.
Yeah,
And we didn't have much of a sponsor. So I think it's just how the chairman wanted his team to be run. And some things, you get there as a sort of a big player, and you want to change stuff, but then you realize that there's a lot to change. And for you as a player, it's like you're undermining the chairman. it starts to get there. And then I realized, like 6 months down the line, I was like, no, this won't work for me. So this won't work for me. So I was like, no, man, I'd rather
So
just
did they
go
exclude
back
you from
home.
the
And
Muthi stuff?
I get there, and then now so I get there, and I we train, and then after we train, there's the team's passes there. So I'm like, where are you going? Says, no, guys, we're gonna meet later at 4 p.m. You must bring your towels. Bring your towels. Hey, we're going swimming or what? What's happening now? Going swimming, maybe.
There's no ocean in Venda.
Bro, what's happening? There's no coastline here in Polokwane. So we get there, so we get there to the bus, and now I'm asking these boys, what's happening now? Say they going there to the waterfall place, what? Like I spoke to the chairman. Me, I can't. I won't do this. Says, Laza, you won't do this. You're gonna do it. I said never. I said you're gonna do it. So I called the chairman on my way. Chairman, yeah, we're heading to this place, and I hear that we're gonna be bathing and going underwater and stuff there. So can you tell them that I can't get on this bus. I can't go there. So the chairman says, if you wanna play for my team, you'll go on that bus. How? If you wanna play for my team and wanna be paid end of this month, you'll go on that bus. So I was like, I, oh well, I guess I won't die there. See, no player has died there, so let me just go, man. Right? Anyway, it's for the team. It's a team thing, I guess. So like they are singling out individuals that only 4 players must go. The whole team is doing it. So I guess I had to be a team player, which I was used to being a team player. So I had to. So yeah, Mikey, coming to the bathing and the washing, and it's halftime, and you must, instead of water, it's you are washing your face with milk. Your jersey smells of stuff like we are a slaughtered animal there. So it was a lot, Mikey.
Was it in front of your face? Because I've been at a lot of teams where there's somebody doing the stuff, but you don't see it. Like it's behind closed doors. Like they don't expose you to the stuff. But then I've been at teams where you're
Yeah,
actively involved in the Muthi and the bathing and the showers and everything. I've been there as well. So was it in your face? Like were you
yeah,
involved in it?
yeah, Mikey. Everything is there. Like there, it's not a secret. I think every player who's heard about Black Leopards, or mostly some of the teams from Polokwane also, it's not a secret. I'm, I'll tell you, Mike, when we're in that bus and going to that waterfall place, it was during the day, and we go into a place. Let me make an example for you. Like a place like Fountain Valley in Pretoria, where we had our team building. It's a place like Fountain Valley, where there are other guests there who are there on a picnic. So about that, Mikey, this calls, man.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so it's a picnic for them, and we are there in our kit and towels, going to the waterfall there, and already candles are being set up there. There's different baths that you go through, and you can imagine that when you are at Black Leopards and hours from the so-called big teams, the people there recognize me more than the other players. So I'm there by that waterfall, and people are having a bride there, and they're calling me there. Hey, Laza, hey, my man, can you have a picture? Can you have a picture with me? I'm like, hey,
Oh, you
I,
watch?
I don't want to be seen. Anyway, the towel is covering my head there. I actually don't want to be seen there. And these people are like calling my name. They, hey, Laza, come, let's take a picture, man. You. And that time we're going there to be in the bar. They're like asking me, what are you guys doing here? Say, no, we just have a pool session. They were having a pool session there by the waterfall there. Recovery. Oh, my God. It was bad, man. But also, yes, so other things, man, other things you couldn't change the culture of the team. So yeah, so after 6 months, and there's the times where I avoided doing that, those things. So from December, come January, I was not playing anymore and stuff. So I already knew that I was not gonna renew end of the season. So I was just going through going through the phases then, and then in March, lockdown happened, and we were back home, right? So it was an opportunity, so to like cut ties and man. And then after that experience, man, coming back from that experience, it's not easy to be motivated, you know. And Mikey, I don't know how you motivated, my man. I see you still going strong. You're scoring better goals than I scored, man. I'm like, what?
Tap in.
Oh, how old is
That's
this
like
guy?
you.
Man? No, man. I'm like, yo. So it's
Yeah, man.
I think it's in a person's character that you can be able to motivate yourself, to still have that passion, and envy you a lot.
The day-to-day stuff is still tough. Like, I think mentally to get around going to training every day. There's days where you don't feel like doing it, but
Yeah,
the games are still like, I still love like match day and playing a game. So it's like almost like I just suffer
yeah,
through
I still look forward
sometimes
to
where I
it.
think like, or maybe I don't want to be doing this or whatever. But you look, as long as there's that light at the end of the tunnel, and I think that's often when guys lose their motivation is when there's not that light at the end of the tunnel when you maybe not playing that regularly and stuff, and you're just training. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
get quite tired of that, and I
Mm.
think it wouldn't be so. Um, yeah, I wouldn't want to do it really that much anymore. It's all about the match day
Motivated.
on the. I think
Yeah.
that's towards the end now, especially the day-to-day training can be monotonous and you can get a little bit bored by it, but it's the match day that still pushes me on.
Yeah, I think also, yeah, that's important. If at that age you're still part of the team and you're playing, I think that's the motivation. So me, I was not playing anymore. So and I came
Yeah,
back and I was like, let me just sit at home, and then from there I was like, man, I don't see myself playing anymore because I just thought I don't want to go through that again at my age. So I was like, nah, man.
I think that period or at that Leopards sort of killed your
Yeah,
motivation for the game. Really,
yeah,
you
it,
think
it, it
is
did.
that the side eventually?
Yeah, I think if I was at another team at that moment, I think maybe I might be playing. I don't know, but I think that moment played a role of me like deciding to just let it go. Yeah,
Yeah. So tell me, stepping out of football now, what are you up to now, Laza? What are you doing with your
yeah.
time?
Well, remember as I said to you, I'm unemployed now, man. But yeah, no,
I just reframed it for you. I said you're not unemployed, you just retired.
yeah, man. So yeah, there's a family business that we run with my mom. We've got a contract with like Pick It Up, which is like our daily bread contract. That's the main contract we have, and then there's also some small projects we do, with these small tenders we get. But with our company, that's like our family business, which I'm hands on now with my mom. So every morning is those to go check there if everything's in place, and so it's totally away from sports, man. It's a whole different environment for me, but it keeps me going because it's something to look forward to. It's something new. I'm learning every day, you know. But I'm not in the office, Mikey, and I won't do a 9 to 5, man. I don't see myself waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
That's different. Sure, that's difficult. But yeah, that the family business, it's going, and yeah, as you know, I also had some stuff in place, some investments there. So yeah, life goes on, man. It's life after football, and I do also keep busy. I've got a team, and I've got a team called Sobona. Uh, I think since it's preseason now, I think some teams must come. Look, they must come play friendlies with us, man. I think we'll give them a run for their money.
What
Yeah,
team you
I've
guys
got a
playing?
strong team, Mikey. Yeah, man. So Sundays we play Sunday league, man. So it's social league.
Do you play? Do you play? Or you
Ah,
play a coach, or you just
no,
a
we've
coach?
got a coach. We've got a coach. Some friend of mine is a coach. I'm a player. I'm also sometimes on the bench there.
Okay.
It's social league. So if I had a heavy Saturday, man, and Sunday I must start on the bench there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so man, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm not involved in soccer
Okay, that
anymore.
you're still getting some stuff done there after football.
Yeah.
Laza, before we wrap up here, I wanna get through some quick fire questions for you.
Okay, my man.
Um, some quick answers. If you want to expand on anything, go for
Okay.
it. For football hero growing up.
Mm. Katlego Mashego, for more than football reasons. I think when I arrived at Silver Stars, I think he took care of me, and I always looked up to him, what he achieved, and it goes to like goal celebrations and the guy he was off the field, and even now I still keep in contact with him and I still look up to him now. I play against him some five-a-side tournaments, and he was still top goal scorer even now. So I I
Yeah,
think for more than football, I think he's the one guy that his name just comes up automatically.
cool man. Most underrated player you've played with.
Underrated. Who never got the shine that he deserves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll put a Bradley there. For me, I think in this country, I don't think I've seen a Bradley at the AFCON. I'm not sure. I never played with him at the AFCON. Uh, having him at training in those 6 years daily, I think he's one of the best finishers I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That guy.
over top.
Oh, that guy, his first touch, man. I think for him, for me, I think he never got the shine that for me, he deserves. I, I think if he was there, well, I don't want to say the ifs because in football there's no if, man. But if maybe for me, if he went to the past Afcon, he's finishing him up front there with he's a more like an evidence mahopa being used. I think a Bradley Grobler there with the team they had, with the chances they created, with the finisher he
Yeah, yeah,
is. Surely we getting 4 or 5 more goals there with him there. So I think for me,
yeah.
Grobler, the striker he is, I think he never got the recognition that he deserved.
I agree. Three players that you've played with for a night out. Who are you choosing?
Woo! I think I'll leave my
This is a tough one.
it's tough one, man. I think I leave my SuperSport gang out of this because uh, I was the one pulling them out. So I think I'll choose the players that pulled me out. You know, when I
Okay.
was still younger. I think I'll have a Vuyo Mere there for the dance floor.
Okay.
Uh, and I'll have a Lebohang Mokoena there for the
So you had to have left.
for the
Yeah.
organization. And I'll have a Solomon Mate there so that he will keep us there at the nightclub until the morning.
The stamina.
He's the one with the stamina there.
If I gave you a sub, I'm surprised you never put Mkabela in there as well.
Oh, 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 well, there's so many. There's so many. That's why I want to choose those that dragged me out.
Okay.
You know, so that because I had so many wonderful nights out with a lot of guys, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite stadium?
Favorite stadium. For me, I'll say recently it used to be Royal Bafokeng for me for the field, but I'll say Mbombela for me. I'll say Mbombela just also adds also with the memories we had
Yeah.
and some of the success we had. I think Mbombela was a quality
Yeah.
stadium.
I think SuperSport, we had a lot of good memories at
Yeah, we
Mbombela.
had good memories there, man. I don't think we lost many games there. So yeah, I'd say Mbombela Stadium.
Cool, man. Toughest defender you've played against?
It has to be Tsepo Masilela.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tsepo Masilela, man. There was one guy where going past him is a mission. And you go past him and you try to cross and he's already tackling. If you get that chance, his recovery, his how he would set you up that you don't get the chance to cross. So his mental play was spot on.
Yeah.
That's where you see why he played. He went to La Liga.
Yeah. No, I think
Sorry, man, about that.
back end of his career, obviously,
So,
and I mean, his class, you could just see it. Even when he was a little bit heavier, a little bit unfit or whatever, still nobody could beat him. Like he was too smart.
oh, yeah, he was. When I was going against Chiefs and I knew Tep was playing, I was like, oh God, here we go. It's another long night, man.
Your favorite goal of your career?
Oh, he has to be the winner. Orlando Stadium against my former team, Platinum Stars. Extra time.
Outside of the foot.
Oh, outside of the foot. Cup final, extra time. I played against your former team, playing in my hometown in Orlando, where I grew up. I think
Who got the
everything
assist for that
just,
goal, Laza?
yeah,
Do you know who got the assist for that goal?
yeah. I saw your long clearance. You know, it was a clearance,
The
it was a
clearance.
pass. I remember it very well. I saw your clearance, Mikey. Don't worry, you are there for the assist, man.
Are you calling it a clearance? Okay.
Yeah, man.
Fair. I'll take it.
No, good assist, Mikey. Good assist. You are there.
Sure, my brother. Favorite boots you wore in your career?
Oh, favorite boots have to be the Adidas F50. The previous ones they did before the 2013 AFCON, they were so light. They used to make them yellow, blue. The F50, the
Yeah.
first ones they made. You are allowed to put those boots.
Yeah, so we were at favorite boots. So the best player you've ever played with?
Oh, I think I played with so many great guys, man. It's difficult to single out one. I think the best player I've played with, and I'll go to when I was at Chiefs, and I had the opportunity to play with Tabo Moki, Tiki Tiki.
Yeah.
I think that guy, since I watched him on TV and I had to share a change room with him, and watching him at training, I used to actually admire him at training and actually train with him, man. you couldn't even tackle him. Like the way I admired him, you can't even tackle the guy, man. So I'll have to mention him just because at my age, I had the pleasure to share field with him. Then obviously after comes many great players I played with, man.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
difficult to single out one. Yeah.
The worst dressed teammate. Yeah.
Worst dressed. How do I? Let's see. Because I can, the one I remember for dressing up, I'll say Dove Woman.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I was not happy. I was not happy with this dress code.
Okay. What was your nickname? Yeah, football nickname.
It has always been Palaza.
Yeah, Phala. Where does that come from? Just the name. That's just
I
what
think
everyone
just
called you.
came from my surname. Just because I was never given a nickname. Maybe after a player or something. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your pre-match meal. What would you eat before a game?
it had to have Tabasco in it, didn't it? For sure.
Always. I
But
always remember when even in the middle of Africa, you would be trying to find Tabasco somewhere.
but obviously, I think because of our diet, I think pre-match had to be pasta. I think you got used to it that nothing else made sense, So I think pasta.
And
That's the
post-match
pre-match.
meal. What do you eat after a game?
Had to be pap and steak if available. It had to be something heavy because after the game we had to hit the club, so the foundation had to be strong. You had to build the foundation.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. Your biggest football regret.
Uh, I don't like. Well, I usually say I don't have a regret because whatever happened and whatever decision I made, I think worked out for me to be the Laza that I am today, man. So I have no regrets. I think all the decisions, me leaving which team early, me making that, not signing that contract, maybe I might look back and say, what if I signed and I stayed longer for Chiefs or no? So I actually don't have regrets in football because whatever decision I made, I think has made me the person and the player I am today.
Okay, I wouldn't be able to get away with this. When I mentioned I was interviewing you, everyone asked about. There was an interview you did recently where you spoke about football age. What were you talking about? What were you talking about?
Mikey. No, I was, I was saying it. I was saying it's a reality, Mikey. Like that, football players have different ages, man. I'm sure you grew up at Pirates, man. I'm sure you know how it works, and going to Africa, you see these things, and you meet people who also like who come from foreign countries, and they tell us that no, I'm using my brother's age, or so I was just saying that it's something that's there in Africa that you can have two ages. I was not saying I have two ages. I was saying it's there.
Okay. I just needed to clarify.
No, I have one age. I have one age, Mikey.
Yeah.
I have
The
one age.
other fan question, they said they were asking about whether you bankrupted SuperSport or not. They said,
Oh, Mikey,
that
you
because
guys
you
were.
were so big, you were bankrupting Stan.
Mikey, you guys were earning more than me, Mos.
Definitely not me.
No, man. I think you must interview Brad. I think you
But
must see Brad's
he's
contract.
going
I
for
think
the
he's the one who's
15th.
finishing.
The option is kicking in for another 1 year. Who would have thought that Brady of all people was going to be the one who's going to outlast us all? He told us he was retiring 10 years
You, yeah, he was saying, no, man, I'm tired, Lazar. No, man, I wanna leave this soccer, and he's still
yeah,
renewing. He's the one who's
that's
finishing SuperSport money. No, I think, man, because of how many big players were there, man. I think there were so many high earners that SuperSport was spending a lot, man. So I think now it's rather they go to the development structures, but to go into the development structures, I don't see them winning anything anytime soon.
yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah,
So now,
you must spend money.
yeah. Before we finish, I just want to ask you, obviously a former Kaizer Chiefs player, the state of the club that's the state of the club that it's in at the moment. What do you think's going on, and how do you think it can be fixed? Obviously, it's the best thing for South African football to have a Pirates team that's performing well, a Sundowns team performing well, and Chiefs team performing well. And I think it's obviously not ideal for South African football when Chiefs is obviously struggling at the moment. What do you think's got wrong, and how do they fix it?
The Well, for them, I think it's about time they spend. It's about time they spend money. Uh, it won't work that they go to development structures and they promote their four players. No, and whichever coach they get, Mikey, I don't see. I'm not saying that players at Chiefs are bad players. I'm not saying that. I'm saying at Chiefs there's no go-to players. Like once you're at a team and there are those go-to players, Mikey, when the chips are down. I mean, you and I we're in a situation where we are once struggling and we are fighting for the top eight, you know. Uh, and then senior players like you, myself, Dean, Probla, Clayton Daniels, Morgan, yeah, Bradley. We came together and we're like, guys, it's up to us. We have to fight for the club to get in the top eight. You're having that group. I don't see Chiefs having. I can't even count five players who would have that. You
Yeah,
know, you
yeah,
you need to have those players in your team to carry your team. Besides the coach, besides the management, it's not about the talent anymore. It's about the players around you that you have. And it's worse for a team like Kaizer Chiefs. You need to have those five big players who are national team players.
yeah,
You know, it's unfortunate that is obviously Sundowns, but Sundowns they have those players because they are doing well as a team. The whole 16 of them, they are quality players and who are doing well whenever they're given an opportunity. And then when it comes national team selection, there's no Kaizer Chiefs player that's being even suggested. That says something. So I think it's time for Chiefs to go out there and spend money, and even if it means go to Sundowns and buy those fringe players who are not playing regularly, buy them out of contract, give them big contracts to come to Chiefs. Even if it means that, I would do it if I was a Kaizer Chiefs, and they need to spend to. They say money doesn't buy everything, but at this instance, money will buy them something.
yeah,
It will definitely buy them a top eight. They need to go buy, and they need to buy quality players who will lead the team. This building of young players at Chiefs, there's no time to build.
yeah,
Uh, Building causes teams. A big team like the Chiefs can't afford to be out of the top eight. A team like Platinum Stars can be out of the top eight, doesn't matter. But a team like the Chiefs, it's unacceptable, and it affects a lot of fans, and it affects South African football. I think Chiefs needs to be seen there. Chiefs needs to be challenging. Chiefs needs to be playing in Africa. Pirates is there doing it with Sundowns there, and they're doing well, and Chiefs must be up there with them. You know, so they need to sign big quality players, five of them, and they need to be big
yeah.
the challenge.
Before you go, Laza, last one. Um, Obviously, being one of the country's best wingers for the last 10, 15 years, I want to get your opinion on Mofokeng. What do you think of the boy? Obviously burst onto the scene everyone's very excited
Yeah,
about him. What's your impression of him?
yeah.
Your initial impression?
Oh, yo, I'm loving the boy. I'm loving the boy. I think like I haven't spoken about a winger in so long before he came up. I think it was his first season when I got asked about this question, and they're like, which winger do you see? And I'm like, the wingers these days, you get Temba's one who's playing winger, who doesn't cross the ball, but he's my favorite player, you know. So you don't get those direct wingers who take on a defender and make something out of nothing. I think that Mofokeng
Yeah,
boy has it. I was so impressed, and you know, a winger who scores goals is a winger. You know, if you're a winger, you don't score goals. You know the
yeah.
you know the
In
winger for
modern
me.
yeah, front
You're a
three, those
midfielder, maybe. You know the winger.
inverted
So
wingers have to be getting 10, 15 goals a season. That's the top ones are all doing that now.
yeah, you have to. If you're signed as a winger, I think Sadio Mane,
Yeah,
the Salahs, they're wingers. You know, even Mbappe is a winger. But you know, Neymar is a winger. You know,
yeah,
this you have to be scoring. You just have to be scoring to be a winger. To be a good winger, you have to be scoring goals. And that boy, he's doing it, and he's doing it at a big club. And it's not easy as a young boy carrying the club, a big club like Paris. So I'm very impressed with him, and he's one for the future. And you know, his talent has to be nurtured and taken care of. And you know, he's a great, you know, he's a
yeah.
great
Scoring
discovery
in
for
cup
our
finals
country.
reminds me of young Thuso Phala.
Yeah. Yeah, what can you say? You know, he's one for the future, man. I think he's a future last. I must just teach him how to celebrate, man.
Not happy.
No, no, you must practice to celebrate. You know that you're
But not
manifesting
everyone can
scoring.
move like you, Laza. Not everyone can move like you. I said not everyone can move like you, Laza. We don't all have the shoulders to do
No,
the
man.
Laza.
But at least you can try something, Mike. You guys used to also try and move something. Yeah, but I like the
Hey,
boy.
Laza, thank you so much for taking the time, man. It's been so great to catch up, man. Thank you so much.
Always great for having me, Mikey.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'm sure we'll do it again soon. Next time in person, and maybe over a cold one or two.
As a belief. I'm available for that,
Okay.
you know.